Okay, this is preparing a 3D model or a finished 3D model, or pretty much anything you might want to use for refaction, and prepare it to get boned. Boned. Okay, first we're going to have to start by importing a Beretta model that's been finished, and we want to completely replace this current scene and convert the units. Okay, at this point, a model in 3ds format will look pretty much plain. It won't look like much because the texture is not on there. So we're going to have to open up the material editor and pick the material off the object. As you can see already, there's material assigned to it, but it can't find it because either it got renamed or it's not there, and you need to find it manually. So we're going to go ahead and find it. In this case, it's in the scenes directory where it shouldn't be. And we get our Beretta TGA. Go ahead and open that. Once you do that, we hit go up, and then we hit this button, Show Map and Viewport. There we go. Looking much better already. Now the first things that we should, one of the other first things that we should do is convert it to editable poly. We gotta absolutely make sure we weld all the stray vertices, because exporting 3ds objects dramatically increases face counts for whatever frickin' reason, and it pisses me off. So we're going to have to weld these with a radius of 0.01, or a weld threshold of 0.01, and you can see that brings it down about 1,000 vertices, and that's a lot better, and then the pieces will be welded back together properly like they should. Okay, now the next step is since we're going to be moving these separately, and this gun has, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, 4 different parts, we're going to have to separate these parts away from each other, so it'll make selecting them and manipulating them when we're getting ready to use them in refaction bone a lot easier. So we go into element mode and start selecting the elements that are separate from each other. First things first, we move this over here because silencer. We could have an animation where you might want to put the silencer on. We got the hammer of the gun, and this little hammer right here is this whole separate little object. You move this straight up, and the reason for moving these straight up or straight to the side, it's simple, because if I move this, say if I were to move this over here at an angle, it'd be a lot harder to, you know, get it in position and move it in a place where it needs to be, as opposed if I were to just move it straight up, and then later on when I finished it and want to move it back together, I could just move it straight back down. Once we do that, we could do that to the clip, move that straight down, and everything looks like it's in order. This is one whole piece, the body of the gun. Once you're done with that, you should have something that looks like this. It's basically torn apart. You can see inside of it, but don't worry, it won't be like that for long, because we're going to be finished with it and it'll be back together the way it's supposed to be. Once you're done with that, just save it. Make sure you do save as and go to a Beretta, and just name it berettafixed.max. We'll be referring to this file later on, so just go ahead and save it. It's fine place.